Since everyone's still
I am Claire Emmel. I am a sophomore at Niles West. I'm 15 years old. I identify as black and white. My father came to this country at 14 to go to high school, and my mother's side of the family has been here for generations. So that's it. Our idea for this poem, a lot of the information in it actually comes from our own experiences, but also Justine and I are on the leadership board for the SOAR team, which, as she mentioned, is Students Organized Against Racism. And we attended a SOAR conference at Northwestern University this past month. And we were there for 2 full days to talk with 4 other schools about racial issues and what we can do to better the world around us. So a lot of this poem came from that.
the content of this poem is basically of racism, what it means to us, and what education has been to us. In the past, we had, well, as I've said, education is math, science, English, all the credits that you have to meet, etc. And this is our idea of what education should be, based on social justice, race, sexism, like all these different types of things that go into creating a social identity.
While we are speaking, something that's common with spoken word pieces and poetry in general is that when you hear something that really moves you, is you give poetry snaps. So it's not interruption and it's not applause that's loud, but it's snaps just showing your appreciation that yes, I feel you, I've been through this, I identify with that, like this is great. So if you're feeling that with our piece, feel free to snap, and also when it's over, feel free to ask questions. We're about our experiences, about what helped us write this, it's a powerful poem, and it's hopefully, strikes you, kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. So feel free to ask questions.
Thanks for this opportunity, and we hope. 3, 2, 1.
Niles West High School is an institution that prides itself on diversity.
Posters,
Banners,
International Week in celebration of our cultures,
Spirit Week in celebration of ourselves. Diversity is everywhere except the classroom, the curriculum we study,
the students I sit next to,
the teachers who become our role models and give us our life lessons.
My APUSH and AP English class have 0 black students.
My AP Psych and Advanced Algebra class have 0 black students. Diversity is everywhere and nowhere all at once.
We say we have an equal system,
but never have I ever been a part of something so unjust. Our system is broken.
School is about getting prepared for bigger and better things like real life.
As if the first 18 years are a free trial.
School is about 3 years of math, 4 years of English, 3 years of science, 2 fine arts, and even 1 credit to teach us how to speak in public.
You go on and on about my college readiness with rigorous testing, all-night study sessions, and 7+ hours in school every day, but all I'm learning is how to pass a damn standardized test.
Oh, when in doubt, just check C.
So that's what college readiness is? How does checking C ready me for life? What about my mental, emotional, and social readiness? In English, we learn how to use big words so we can get a good score on the ACT.
Curmudgeon, someone considered to be bad-tempered, disagreeable, or stubborn.
Foible, an idiosyncrasy or small weakness.
Hegemony, controlling or dominating influence by one person or group.
But I never learned how to work with people who weren't exactly like me. So when the Middle Eastern man interviewed me for a job, I offended him.
I can tell you all about how to find the value of x using a logarithmic function, but when my neighbor called me a Latina, I didn't know how to politely correct her.
I used to use the word minority a lot until I was stopped by a teacher. She said to me, "There is nothing minor about being a person of color." And I thought about it. She's right. There is nothing minor about being a black woman in America. In fact, it's major. And I'm here to make a major impact because
I have a problem.
You have a problem. The world has a problem. It's called ignorance. You're going to cringe and look down at your lap because all this race talk makes you uncomfortable. But it's a real problem.
And it's time to stop ignoring it.
Racism is everywhere, even when we don't see it. It's the reason I got called a nigga walking through the hallways of this school.
It's the reason I got called a terrorist in my English class.
They say those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it.
So I guess everything happening right now in the world is a violent regurgitation of our past.
The peaceful protests in Egypt replicating Gandhi's nonviolent dogma.
The violent marches on behalf of Ferguson are a reiteration of Malcolm X's work.
Walking arm in arm, shouting, hands up!
Don't shoot, just like Martin walked arm in arm with the brothers and sisters who came before us.
I need to know about my history,
My culture,
my people, and myself. I need to know about the wait-ins, some of the bloodiest protests against the Jim Crow laws when hundreds of black men and women walked onto white-only beaches and peacefully waded into the water in protest. They were beaten and shot at and drowned, and not one person talks about their heroic actions today. Completely forgotten.
I need to know about the Pacific Coast race riots of 1907, where 150 white men attacked the South Asian community and the call,
Drive out the Hindus!
was heard throughout the city. I need to stand in solidarity with the 125 South Asians who were driven from their homes in order to make way for the white Pacific, Theodore Roosevelt's idea to cleanse the ocean of the Oriental problem.
Erased and overlooked. In class, we learned that a woman only makes 73 cents to the dollar that a man makes. But what they didn't tell me is that a black woman only makes 60 cents to the dollar that a white man makes. And a Hispanic woman only 55 cents.
Did you know that an Asian woman named Yuri Kochiyama led the civil rights movement along with Malcolm X? When I brought this up to my English teacher, he told me we don't talk about Asians in the civil rights movement because it confuses people. We should stick to keeping it black and white.
Our history is completely disregarded because it confuses people. This is why we need a class.
A classroom to spark social justice.
A classroom to breed equality.
Imagine what it would be like if sociology were taught to more students, all students.
This is why we need a class. So listen to us.
So help us.
Educate us. As students, leaders, and members of a socially corrupt world, we invite you to join our revolution. It starts here.
It starts with education.
It starts with us.